Talk Your a podcast where we don't give no you, and you. Oh, and did I say you? Yeah, you too. Now, let's talk about it.
What up, what up, what up, what up, what up? Welcome to Talk Your Shit Daily. And I'm your host, Big Slick. We got another great episode for you today. But first, I want to give a shout out to all my listeners, whether you're at home, at work, in your car, all the truck drivers on the road. I appreciate you tuning in. And if you didn't subscribe yet, hit the button, man. I appreciate the support. Let's jump right into the show for the day. Look, today's show is about accountability. Why so many people do not have accountability and things people say when they don't have accountability. Let's jump right into it. First of all, I think a lot of people don't have accountability because they wasn't raised being held accountable. So look, this starts off from when you're young, right? It's a lot of ways you can hold your kids accountable for their actions. So the first thing it is, like a lot of kids, parents might go, put your toys up. Put your toys away. When you finish playing with your toys, put your toys away. So if they put the toys away, that's a good job. You know what I'm saying? They get rewarded. They're playing with their toys. You know what I'm saying? They put them away. Right? Now, if they don't put their toys away and their toys is all around the house and you told them to put their toys up, they need to be held accountable. So it starts when they're young. So if you was one of these parents that didn't hold your kids accountable and they toys is all around the house and it was no consequences whatsoever for doing this, now these kids are growing up and now they're in a society where they feel like it's no accountability. So you can't tell them nothing. You know what I'm saying? So it starts from when they're a kid. And then another thing is this. So if you are practicing this with your child and you're holding them accountable, right? When your kids get a certain age, kids are very smart. So when they get a certain age and they see that you're not holding yourself accountable for certain things, then how they gonna feel, right? So then all that work you put in to try to make them be accountable is gonna reverse because they see you're not doing it. Kids are smart. If they see you doing something different from what you're telling them, then how you gonna hold them accountable? And the first thing parents like to say is, "Oh, do what I tell you. Don't do what I do." That's a double standard. You can't do that. So accountability is across the board. You know, parents, child, whatever it is, it's across the board. Now people these days, like I said, a lot of people don't like to hold themselves accountable. One of the reasons is this: it's easy to point the blame. It's so easy to point the blame. I didn't do it. He did it. No, she did it. I wasn't there. I don't know what you're talking about. It's very easy to put the blame on other people, right? And that's one of the things people say that don't hold themselves accountable. They blame it on somebody else. They point the finger at somebody else. Another thing is that they stay in denial about everything. So everything they didn't do. They didn't do it. I didn't do it. I ain't do it. They're in denial, right? And that's when people don't like to self-reflect, right? They don't like to look in the mirror and see that reflection of what's staring back. So that's something that a lot of people got to deal with themselves before they even start holding themselves accountable. Know who you are and hold yourself accountable for your actions. But a lot of people don't do that. Again, they're in denial, right? Another thing that that people do that don't hold themselves accountable is that again they always blaming somebody, right? They always saying they didn't do it, and they claim that they didn't know, right? That's one of the things I didn't know. So you might hear this a lot on a job when it's a particular job you got to do, and the supervisor, somebody come and try to hold you accountable for, hey, what happened? Well, I didn't know I had to do that. What you mean you didn't know you have to do that if we went through this, right? So another thing about holding somebody accountable is that that person should know their responsibilities, right? So even in a relationship, right? How people need to hold each other accountable. You got to be clear about what you want in that relationship. If you're not clear about it, the other person can deny acting a certain way. So how you going to hold somebody accountable if you wasn't clear about the responsibilities, right? That you expect from this person, right? So if you expect them to show you with respect and hold you at a certain standard, you need to be clear at that up front. Because if you're not, how you gonna hold them accountable? Because the first thing they're gonna say is, "Well, you didn't tell me that," right? A lot of people would think, "Well, that's common sense." No, it's not common sense. For a person that doesn't like to be held accountable, they're gonna act like they don't have common sense unless you lay down ground rules to where you can hold them accountable. And that's just how it works. So, like I said, a lot of people blame other people. They're in denial, right? And they don't want to hold themselves responsible for nothing. So, for those people, grow up. We all adults here, man. Stop blaming stuff on other people. If you did it, own up to it. That's the only way you're going to grow, especially as men. Us as men, we got to be held accountable. Hold yourself accountable for stuff, right? Stop saying if you getting angry or you getting emotional, stop saying, "Oh, you make me act like this. You made me do this." How many men say that don't hold themselves accountable and point the finger? "Yo, you make me angry. You make me do that." Look, first of all, every individual is in control of their own emotions, right? Emotions. You are, right? So you saying somebody else made, that's just a cop out. You know what I mean? Especially if you're talking to a loved one or what you made me and you did. So I act this way because you did that, right? Somebody can upset you, but the way you act after that is all on you. That's all on you. So you can go, you can express your feelings and like, "Yo, when you do this, you know that upsets me. That make me a little angry when you do this." And if that person keeps on doing that, then leave, right? Don't make a mistake or you getting angry and losing your cool or whatever happens, because now you're at fault. And regardless of what, you're going to be held accountable for that, right? So people got to be clear with what they want and hold themselves accountable and stop saying somebody else made you do something. You're in control of your own actions. So, like everybody say, it is what it is. Man up. You know what I mean? People need to stop being so emotional with everything. Stop being in denial and hold yourself accountable, man. Look, you already know what it is. It's Big Slick. I'm going to talk my shit. Some people might not agree with this. Some people do. It is what it is. Everybody got the right to their own opinion, and I got mine. It's my show. You know what I do. It's Big Slick. I appreciate you tuning in, and I'm out. Peace.